My name is Madeline Norton, and I'll be portraying the role of Evelyn from Neil LaBute's The Shape of Things.
And how old are you?
I am 15.
What did you think of the play and its themes, and especially of this character who everyone is going to leave hating? And it's definitely the character, that everyone hates and is mad at, and everyone's going to think she's evil and conniving.
Well, I definitely enjoyed reading it, especially since I knew how it would be challenging in ways that I hadn't really done before, since I've mostly been portraying other roles, other kinds of characters in shows. And I like that it's more mature, and so it kind of gives me more of a push to work harder towards something that I haven't worked towards before. And so it's like a new challenge for me. And I'm ready for people to be upset at me and angry. That's like the goal, basically, to try to fool everybody.
Do you think her motivation, obviously she has this motivation for her art installation with this project that she's doing, but do you think in the end she's really, really just malicious, or is there something a little more human to her?
I definitely think she's a little bit more human. Like, she's kind of pushed out other people's feelings out of the way, more towards her own goals of getting the grade. But I think she does feel sorry, like genuinely sorry for Adam, that she's kind of a little bit, because she wants the good grade, but she doesn't really regret it, but she feels kind of bad for him, and I think she feels that maybe he's like a better person because of this.
I'm Taylor Donaldson. I'm in The Shape of Things by Neil LaBute, and I'm playing Jenny.
Funhouse is known for doing these more mature plays with mature characters in them, with the youth, with the younger actors, and really challenging them. So tell me, and you've done several shows with Funhouse, so you know what this is like. So tell me, when you read The Shape of Things, what you thought of the play in general and of the character that you play.
Well, my initial thought was that it was really going to help me develop as an actor, because it is a challenging play, and it challenges us with certain topics that maybe us, as being our age, aren't really used to, and it helps us show that we're ready to play maybe older, more mature characters.
What do you think he is saying with the show, and can your fellow castmates, being that you're 15, 16 years old, how do you think you can relate to it as high schoolers?
Well, I think it kind of has a timeless message that us as humans were kind of obsessed with looks and fashion and just the outer shell of human beings, and I think that's what the play's focusing on a lot, and also that helps us. It's relevant to us as high schoolers, because you go through high school and you worry about what you're wearing or how you look or how you do your makeup or anything like that to make yourself appear different or cooler than what you really are.
My name is Chris Runbaugh. I'm playing Philip in The Shape of Things by Neil LaBute.
Tell me what you thought of the play and of this character.
First thing I thought as I was going through it, there are going to be some cuts that are going to have to be made. About Philip himself, he's the person that's completely in control, and he's kind of a persona and has a personality that I don't think, I've kind of exemplified throughout my life, that I've really, gotten to know and use. So, it's kind of different for me to play somebody that's completely pompous and like him, and I've done things in the past. I've played Hamlet, and I play in mostly somewhat shy characters, but Philip is a lot different from all those, and he's just a little bit more out there.
For the people who are the kids who have been acting and working with Funhouse, how do you think it's going to tangibly affect their career or their thoughts on how they might approach doing acting or this or showbiz even as an option?
Right. They've done a lot of the kids have done a lot of shows that haven't challenged them. There are a lot of works out there that aren't as challenging as they could handle. So what Funhouse is trying to do now is trying to push them on to do even greater things and teaching them skills that they wouldn't normally learn about. You don't see a whole lot of high schools doing a whole lot of absurd pieces.
I'm Joke Rap. I'm playing the role of Adam in Neil LaBute's The Shape of Things.
How do you think what Evelyn does to him is really outrageous? But
Yeah.
Do you think in the end it's sort of for the better good, or how do you think he?
I feel that he had to recover from it, but overall it made him better for that sort of thing with women. I feel like he could kind of play the field more now, if that makes sense. Like, because he was really awkward at the beginning, but I feel he's as Jenny said, this real cute guy by the end of it.
What have you learned from Brad about LaBute's language and the rhythm of the show?
It flows really naturally. He kind of writes for, I think, like a younger audience, and it's like, it flows a lot more naturally. It kind of just flows. It's like very organic. It's very natural. Like, it's like a lot more natural than than Albie, for example.
And you guys have worked pretty mostly with Jeff as a director, right? So what is this experience like for you, having someone in the community who's professional and coming in and getting a different voice with directing?
It's a lot different. I'd say Jeff does more of like a broad strokes and then goes back and fine-tunes it, and this is kind of more like broad strokes and fine-tune kind of at the same time. It's a different experience, but it's really fun.
My name is Brad Baker, and I'm a professor of theater at Collin College.
Talk about the challenges of doing this with actors who are really only 5 or 6 years younger, but there's still a big emotional...
I didn't find it as much of a challenge as I had anticipated. These kids are really bright. I mean, they are so smart, and they are really grounded, very mature. They came to the work knowing what it was, and I think they had a real clear sense of, what the sort of scandal is of the play. But the play's not about that.
So obviously, you said these kids came to you, they're very mature, they know what they're doing. That obviously speaks a lot for what Jeff and Bren have done with this theater.
I am amazed at what they've done with this theater. I have a good friend who was talking about sending their daughter to be trained by someone. And I said, there is one person I would have you train your daughter, and that's Jeff Swearingen. I think this kid is so amazing. He deals with these young minds in the proper way. He nurtures them, grows them, cares about them, and pushes them. And so I've been a big fan of Jeff for many years. And so when Funhouse started, I became like a big cheerleader for them. I love their work. And when I heard they were doing Shape of Things, I sort of lobbied for the opportunity to work with them because I'd just done the show, and I wanted to find out from the directing standpoint what it would be like to do the show again with a different age demographic, and in a very short time frame. And it's been fantastic. I'm really honored to be able to work with them because I think what they are doing at Funhouse is groundbreaking and really, really important.